Naiban, JayaShri.
JayaShri. All right. Good morning, men, gentlemen. We see all men here in the group today. That's fascinating. So let me know whether you can see and hear me clearly. All good? Just a thumbs up would do, or just say yes. You can unmute and say yes. That's fine.
Yes, Mother, you can hear.
All right, wonderful. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. So yes, it's quite cold here in Uppsala, Sweden. I'm in Sweden, and life has been amazing. I got what I wanted. Once again in life, I got what I wanted, that I really needed, what I desired, and it's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's not because it is Sweden. I want you to know. It's not because it's Sweden. It's because I know how to make life happen. Please, I want this to be recorded. I want to declare it into the air. I want you to have this. Because quite often we think when we change the place, country, job, partner, environment, clothes, whatever, right? When we have more money, that life going to be easier, life going to be different. Yes, there is definitely an element of impact from the environment to who we are. But there's always this larger part of you who's making it happen, right? Because people are super surprised about my way of being, including the Sri Lankans here and other international students and people and even Swedish people, like, how are you living? Like sunlight, and how are you this? How do you manage this weather, this shift? And isn't it stressful? Isn't it hard to be here? Like they can't come into terms with the level of positivity I bring into the table, and like it's me. Then I remember I did it even when my parents were fighting. I did it when I went through a separation in my most treasured relationship. And I did it when I was dying, physically dying. I did it. And around 15 plus years ago, I was single-handedly managing all the expenses because of the separation, and I had only a very variable income. As a woman, I had everything coming my way anyway. But if I depended, if I lived as a victim, I don't know what would have happened. So power is within you. This is what I know. This is what I know. The same problems, like even for me, whatever the problems that I have been still transcending and resolving, still appeared after coming here too. Now, is it because of the environment? No, it's because I carry that energy within me. Only good thing is, breakthroughs are easier in this environment. That much I can say. Breakthroughs were getting easier because of what I see, what I hear, what I feel, of course, what I taste and smell and, drink, and what I consume. When I just open my curtain window, it's green and green and green, and only sounds of the birds, maybe some children, maybe a dog. Of course, the data input from the environment is significantly different too. So that helps that internal transformation process. So I had to get this out today, first thing in the morning. It came out. So be it. I want you to know the power is always within you. I think you know this already. That's why you are in this NLP forum with us. And it's a reminder. Okay, it's a reminder. It's seriously a reminder. Now, I also have started a new coaching program exclusively for breakthroughs. Breakthroughs, because that is what I am doing. That is what I have been doing. But after coming here, I realized that I'm ready for the next breakthrough, and it's happening. So I always, even around 15 plus years ago, when I was going through depression, I know most of you know my story. It's public, it's out there. This is the easy thing about my life. I live a life with integrity. The life that I have inside is what is said to the world. So there's always a match between what I live and say and do. It's easy for me to live life. There's no need to put up a facade, pretense. So integrity is the second thing. I want you to know integrity is the second thing. At least with one person in your life, you must have 100% integrity. At least one person. Usually for most men and women, adult men and women, it's never their partner. It's never their partner, unfortunately. But ideally, it should be their partner, intimate partner, not parents. If you cannot do that level, have that level of integrity with your partner, you got to have it with at least one friend. Yeah, physical friend. If you can't have, if you're seriously unfortunate for some reason and you did not know how to create that absolutely thick and thin friend or partner in your life, you can have that conversation with God. As in, God here means if you believe in a superior, hierarchical, separate being out there somewhere, controlling and managing and helping and designing and creating and almost literally creating you through you, if you believe something like that, you got to have that intimate connection with that person or that thing or force, okay? If not, at least universe expressed externally to a statue or form or a tree or something like that. Essentially what I'm saying to you is, this is the third thing, take it, it's coming like full load. So it seems like some integration has happened. This is coming, so make some notes, mental notes, physical notes. I always encourage you to make some physical notes. To date, when I take part in trainings, like yesterday, I spent around 3 hours on an online platform with the world's leading presentation skills training coach. I make notes. To date, I make notes, right? So make notes. So that's the third thing, that externalizing of a separate entity, having a separate entity to have this feedback mechanism, have this communication constantly where you are fully naked in that connection. You're fully naked as in not physically. What I mean is you are absolutely 100% brutally honest about what's inside of you, what you want, what you desire, your weaknesses, your cruelties, your bad side, good side, everything. There should be a way of verbalizing it. Get this right first thing in the morning today. I understand why this is coming, although I have a plan. As always, I have a plan, I have a structure, which we will cover. And after all, this is quantum NLP. I mean, I have transcended the old NLP modality. That's why I'm not teaching that old way now, and in a different environment, and trying to give the value to the world in a different way, right? But I still love to talk to my people. That's why it is at 10:30 in Sri Lankan time and Sweden time, 7 o'clock. Most of my friends, although they register, they can't make it, but that's their loss. We want to people committed, and also I want to give the benefit to the people in Sri Lanka because I'm not physically there. So the third thing is that you got to have this physical person where you can be 100% yourself, and that integrity is maintained. There's no lie that you are living every day, like swallowing this lie, truth about yourself, and like it's somewhere stuck in your heart, stuck in your gut, stuck in your sexual center, This is a big one for men and certainly for women, right? Especially men like you who are integrating both masculine and feminine energies, like you are integrating. You guys who are present here right now live with me are the ones who are transcending the polarities, right? You are evolving to the union of oneness. And in that process of evolution, you're going to meet these dark sides of each dark power of both male and masculine and feminine energies, these dark energies, every step of the way. Trust me, every step of the way. When you make that first $1 million, like you're going to meet the next biggest dragon or the demon or the ghost or the witch or the wizard who were cursed for thousands of years in the generation, mother, father side, right? That lost grandma, lost granddad. You're going to meet all those shadows of yourself. You can't help but you're going to meet, right? Let's say you find the next level of love that you have been waiting for you in your life. Maybe a casual relationship. Maybe you're it's a friend, right? But you know this is love. And then you meet your dark side. The moment you get what you want, then comes the shadows, and you got to do the shadow work. You got to remove the shadow for the light to come. Otherwise, you live in the shadow, right? You live in the shadow. You know this. When I say this, you know this, don't you? So this is why we call this quantum NLP. These sessions are called quantum NLP. In fact, all of these GamakaShri, it's not only the last session. Even the previous one was based on quantum NLP because that is what I'm now trying to bring to the world, right? Because quantum means it's beyond, it's mega. It's just more than changing the words you speak positively, and then have what you want, and have a goal setting NLP technique, have what you want. I know for a fact everyone here have got what they want at least 70% or 50% of their time, haven't you? You got what you want, but you're unhappy, aren't you? I mean, I'm unhappy about a few things. I'm not super content, and that's fine. That's the shadow. That's the expansion. This is what, I used to be like a monk and almost preaching the Theravada Buddhism in a different way. That was my rebellious action I ever did in my life as a woman. But one thing I still live by, the fundamental principle I've learned from Theravada Buddhism, or Buddhism for that matter, that everything is impermanent, right? That 6 days of meditation, 6 days, 6 hours meditation was all about concentrating, contemplating on impermanence of things. And the shit break through on the 6th day after continuously sitting for 6 hours of meditation. Like, I only focused on everything that was coming up inside of me. I went into a deep trance-like state, samadhi you may call it, and then I focused on impermanence of stuff. And then like, I realized what I had to realize. Words can't express that. All I know is that I understood what I had to understand. And then things changed. It was a complete brain resetting process. The personality part of me didn't like most of it because you just still have to integrate into this 3D world and do the shit, play the role as someone. And that's hard, right? You can't be nothing in this world. You have to be something. You have to be something, right? And nothing being something was a challenge. That is what happened to you when you were born. You were nothing, and then you became something, and the hell broke loose. You had the mother, father giving everything the food, and I mean, you suddenly, they said you have a family. What do you mean? You came from nothing and you became something, and then you got to learn the shit, right? Like, okay, how to be this something. Okay, I'm your daughter, I'm your son. Okay, this is money. 1 is less, 5 is more, so go for more 5. Oh, 98 marks? No, there's 100. Go for it. You know what I'm talking about, aren't you? So that process of this nothing, impermanence, always now coming into manifestation of something, it's fascinating in a way. Then you come to a place where you start getting into a dance, like the man, woman, when they're in harmony. That's a beautiful dance. I mean, on the dance floor, right? And then this becomes a whole play. So this is where we want people to go. This is what we want people to go. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Waking up around 5:30 in Sri Lanka, time here, after having 24 days work yesterday, 24 hours work, right? And I'm still in my fullest. Why I do what I do is that we want to break that old paradigm of living life. People are suffering, trying to work it hard and to make it happen. You don't have to make it happen. It's there. You just have to choose. That old paradigm. Okay, now I'm coming to the fourth point. The paradigm, right? So yeah, some of my, like said, Swedish friends, like, oh, why 7 a.m.? You know, these guys sleep around, I don't know, around 2 a.m. and then wake up next day. I wanted to experiment with it a bit. So I kind of stayed up all night and then tried to wake up. I don't know, for me, whatever that works, because I said the intention. But anyway, so they usually sleep late and they don't wake up. It's all differently wired here. The exact opposite to our culture, most of the stuff. Very primitive, very primitive. So it's easy. When you're very primitive, life is usually easy. When you're too much philosophical, I sometimes get to be very complicated, like what happened to Sri Lanka. And so there was like, why 7? So yeah, one thing I want to give the benefits to our people. Of course, we will change the time in the future. Let's see how it goes. Second thing, people say they want things. People say, I want this, I want that, I want this, I really want this, but they're not committed. Why aren't they committed? They have not made the choice. They have not made the choice. They have not decided. When you really feel this is what you want, you got to take that decision. The decision. Like you just decide. 2 years ago, I was telling GamakaShri, there's a breakthrough coming, there's something's gonna happen, we will go apart, we gotta do things differently. I can foresee it's coming. It's new paths opening up for us, and you gotta do these things, but this is beyond my control. These are things that you're supposed to do. But things didn't happen. And then like 1 year ago, I knew what exactly I wanted, and then it just landed on my lap, literally, to say the least. Everything, the university. When I come to the program, meeting the professor, I was like, I'm already in his research team, right? It's exactly what I wanted. The same thing happened many years ago when I learned NLP. I was going through depression, and then I go to NLP class. Within the 2 hours, I realized, oh, wow, this is the reason why I went through what I went through. But this is my message, guys. You don't have to go through shit to have what you want to have. We have lived in that pain paradigm for a long time. So listen to this carefully. Get this, just get that. This is a direct transmission. You can just make it happen right now, right here. You don't have to wait for days. You don't have to wait for one more day or 1 minute. This can just happen if you're ready. This is how life works. When you make that decision, when you choose, it's a question about commitment, right? When you commit, that is where the Satan or the dark forces, your shadows, all the shit, the separated out parts of you start playing out, the avatars. And now it's a war inside of you. You know what I'm talking, aren't you? Right? The war inside of you. That's this war. I want to wake up. I can't wake up. I'd rather watch some pornography previous day. I had to say it. At least one time in your life, all of you have done that, I know. Right? I want to go for that drink. I'm talking about men stuff, but it's women stuff too. I mean, I've done that too. So I want to watch that cartoon, my biggest distractor once. You don't want to face the demon. So you will pick up all little tiny toys that you used to play with in the, like when you were a child. Can you remember? You were going through some shit, hell was breaking loose inside of you, you were screaming, crying. What did the parents do? What are you doing with your little ones? What? They gave you little toys, didn't they? Or they gave you like popsicle, a piece of chocolate. And then you die, right? Some oxytocin just to calm you down. But the hell did not solve. The problem didn't solve. Very rarely, the creators or mother, father know what the child really needs and give them what they want. Ah, this is so good, man. This is so good. It's coming together, right? They just distracted you. Cartoon, they brought the TV to the home, the cartoons, Robin Hood. So you can live in this fantasy bravery island where everything's get done. The brave man, the hero wins, but you're never the hero in your life. Ah, shit, I had to say it. You've never learned to be that hero and the main actor in your life, have you? You only dreamt of it. So you went to one movie after another. You had so much of fantasies about sexuality and you couldn't do it, and men get into pornography, and that's a huge industry. So is the entertainment industry. So is the drugs and alcohol. Everyone wants some distraction. 5% of the population decide what they want. They make the decision. The moment that urge to get distracted comes, they practice some qigong, they go for a walk, they talk to their best friend, they talk to the God, or they go into a prayer, they do some gardening, they do some heavy cleaning. If the energy is like a rage or like, you know, really bad stuff, they will go to the bathroom or do a full cleanup of the house. They will channel the energy or get in some martial arts or do running, whatever. Or they will sing, dance. They will channel that energy. So the fourth point is this. Why was it so difficult for you to have that breakthrough? And you're still here, which is okay, right? We're all going through every day. We're facing our demons every day. We all, as long as you have this attire, as in not the cloth, this, right? This structure, this is shit. I mean, you know it, right? You eat food, it becomes shit, go back to the earth. So it's, it's a recyclation of shit, if at all. Yeah, even in good way. Yeah, so we eat each other. We eat each other. And this is garbage. This is why in Theravada Buddhism also, it's like, you know, you have this discussion about impermanence and then dukkha, like there's nothing so fancy about this world, don't get carried away. This is not given due, let's say, this is not considered as so precious because it's always changing, and there's really nothing beautiful about it. So externally, this is why everything looks beautiful, because inside that's really ugly. You don't want to see it, so you cover it up. Anyhow, that's how it is. The whole truth in life is covered. It's in darkness. So who find the truth? Who find the truth? Who find the truth? The one who's daring enough to walk into the darkness, who's not afraid to walk into the darkness. So don't ever be afraid of your darkness, even if they play out So what is the role of this 5% of the people? I said, like, okay, they end up being the teachers, billionaires, millionaires. Why? Because they hold the money. They make money because they have figured it out. And then they channel the resources into what they want. They shape the society because they hold the power, because they have the money. Okay, this is going to be our next topic. This is the topic of the breakthrough coaching that I've started. There's a direct relationship between money and love. How much you can receive as love is a direct reflection of how much of money you can receive. The money container is equivalent to the love container. So if you as a child have had limitations of experiencing love, holding it and really having it, you receive sometimes just breadcrumbs of love from your mother, father. Breadcrumbs. You don't even know what it means to be loved by a woman. And for a woman, you don't even know what it means to be loved by a man fully. The love of the God, the love of the universe. You really have no idea because it was not experienced at the very beginning from the first place of conception. So how would you ever know? You go from one woman after the other, one man after the other. Still it is not experienced, then you think it's something wrong with it. Or something fundamental wrong with you. And those people get into healing, coaching, kind of, like self-development person. That's my story. Maybe something's bloody wrong with me. I got to fix myself, then things will be okay. Or some people get into this spirituality, meditation, enlightenment part. Like, this is why I didn't meet a single woman or man who has gone to 100 Dhamma sermons in Sri Lanka, have sat down for hours of meditation, have not got enlightened after doing all that work. It can't happen. It's just a coping mechanism. They haven't, all people who go to the church have found God. None of them have ever said to me that they met God. But sometimes you meet the ones in the bar or a pub or, casually some guy, some person, like they really have met the thing or found it. And they're living it. They're living it. You don't want to talk about it, you're living it. Just very few people like us who had made vows in the past, who have literally made a vow that we will teach, right? We'll do the most difficult thing, we'll teach. Okay, that's fine. So they also kind of get compensated on the way. Let me tell you that much. You get really very well compensated for this job, as in from the word, let's say as transactions, but more than that from life. Because this is hard. This is why I have due respect to the clergymen from all religious backgrounds. People don't understand. I understand everyone who's playing their role in a church or a mosque or a shrine. I understand what they're doing. And irrespective of whatever they're doing, irrespective of their behavior, I have deep compassion for them because I know what they're going through as humans in that transformational process. It's not easy to be a monk or a priest or be a person who preach the truth. It's not easy. So have some due respect and kindness to them. Don't judge them for their personal behaviors because personality is a co-creative process of a society. Society, everyone equally responsible for everything. Everything, not the government, not the business people. We all are responsible. All right. Okay, so the breakthrough is breaking free from the paradigm. What is a paradigm? Taken for granted assumptions, beliefs, and values, like taken for granted. This is why you dress in a certain way, why you wake up at a certain time and do things, spend money in that particular way, speak to your spouse or friends in a particular way. Taken for granted assumptions about life and your, like it's a prison. So wonderful people like you who know they are immensely powerful, who know this truth, know this Dhamma, want to live it, want to go to that next breakthrough, have a better life for themselves and others, make the impact, earn that money, have that car, have that great life for everyone around them. have that easiness around money, have that easiness in the body, feel so loved and nurtured in relationship. I mean, whoever wants more or feel enlightened and really be able to even teach it to the world, whatever. So you take that decision. The moment you take that decision, I told you that the shadows start coming. This is why it feels hard. This is why coaches, teachers, trainers need it. This is why, again, this is a multi-million-dollar industry, this thing. And I'm so grateful today, looking back down the line, I'm the one who pioneered professional NLP training in Sri Lanka. Now it's almost like a little industry. There are so many coaches. There was not even a single NLP coach back then in 2007. And I did it, right? And now so many people are choosing it as a career. Fascinating, right? It's fascinating. This is why I started then calling myself as a thought leader. And I like all the thoughts that I have sort of planted, it's now coming into fruition. And so getting back to this discussion about paradigm. So you get into this, you make the decision, and now you're like committed. That's it, to change the body or to earn that money or to get that new relationship, get into that really self-soothing, truly loving, intimate relationship, or have that qualification, then get that job, or to go to that next level of enlightened state, all right? And to be able to share it with the world, whatever it is. Now you're ready. Now you're trying to take the action. The old paradigm kicks in, taken for granted assumptions, beliefs, all that is in your subconscious, in your body, everywhere. Like as a little child, you wanted to do something new. You tried to do it. You failed. None of your family came to help you. That trauma is there somewhere in the body, usually in the core, or sometimes here. Very rarely here, but it can be. Or you accomplish, like let's say you built up something so beautiful as a little child. You created something nice, and then you wanted that external validation from mother or father, maybe like a drawing. So you rush to them, see, is it nice? And they are so busy in their adult paradigm, trying to make the ends meet. Or they're struggling with their own sexual energy, right? This woman is not good enough, or this man is not good enough. They didn't say it, but that was the truth. Ugly truth. So they were having this discontentment in their home. And so they can't really love because they haven't seen love from the first place, from at the very beginning. They haven't experienced that love from day one. And then suddenly they find like, okay, it's hard for me to give that love, right? And then the child comes, that is you try to get that validation. They can't give it to you. You see it in the mother, father, like, okay, it's okay. Or sometimes you were scolded for you trying to be too smart. And then you dim your light. You just dim your light. Started believing, I'm not good enough. Sounds familiar? Feels familiar? I'm not good enough. I mean, after having so many achievements in my life, having all the love and affection from all the men I desired every step of my way as a woman, I mean, it still felt like I'm not good enough. And for me, fortunately, for the work, because of the skills and expertise I've developed, the moment that happens, I can even see the memory in my head where exactly it happened. To a level now, I can actually see there was a time I could see past lives. Now I'm not trying to go there. I've kind of done the work, but I can see the conception, like how exactly it happened, what influenced, what made the imprint. Let's say like you and I, we have this lovely conversation in person, and then you say something to me, which is really like you're super excited about something, you're so happy. And then now I'm so preoccupied with something that I'm dealing with. And then the moment you start talking in my face, Like I'm not fully congruently aligned with you or with you in that conversation. So even verbally, from the external, like visual expression, energetically, you don't get what you're looking for, like that validation. Like maybe I'm confused about myself, but then it goes to you. It's like, it's called imprinting. Yeah. So you see this face and then like, okay, maybe it's not good enough. Okay, whatever my masterpiece, which I thought is a masterpiece, not good enough. Like 3 years ago, when I really had the courage and the capacity to declare my realized state back in Sri Lanka, only very few people said really shitty stuff. But that affected. There was this part of me that like, wow, when you speak the truth, also these people try to kill you. Then I realized, okay, this is what happened. Buddha, this is what happened. Jesus, fine. That's a very intellectual process thereafter, coming to terms with this role you are playing in society. And then you realize in the childhood also it happened. Like when you were a good, so-called good child, okay, some praise and appreciation, but it was not what you didn't get what you wanted. You didn't get what you wanted. You had to settle down for what they gave you. Then you started living in this paradigm. I'm not good enough. I just have to settle down for what the world gives me because I'm not good enough. I have to prove my worth. So that 5% of the population that we were talking about are the multi-billionaires, billionaires, the teachers, great coaches, the people who really define the society, shape the society. They are the ones who broke free from the paradigm. But remember, once you break free from one paradigm, you're moving to the other paradigm, and the next paradigm, it's always a mental model. This is why once a millionaire, they get to the billionaire state, and the billionaire, then the next level, multi-billionaire. So, or qualifications, whatever, right? In relationships, you're free to have relationships. What's wrong with it? So you have it, and then you find like this is not satisfying. You move on, but paradigm will still kick in, right? You will do the old shit, old stuff you continue to do. You change the jobs, then suddenly you find this old boss. Not literally the old boss. It's like that boss has reincarnated in the same place. What's going on here? Why am I seeing this person again in my life? Yeah? Familiar? So that's because of your paradigm, because the world outside, whatever you are seeing, is a projection of your consciousness. The level of consciousness you are in is projected onto a screen. You want to see a beautiful picture, suddenly you see this demon on the projected screen. I really thought I'm in love, and this is ultimate love, and then you suddenly find a demon on the projected screen, because through the light of that projection of your pure conscious, pure essence of yourself, who you are, it's pure. You know it. You know it. That's why you're here in this morning with me. Why are you here? Really? You know you are complete. You know you are God himself, herself. You know you're the universe. You know you're complete. You don't need to listen to us. We like to stop talking as well. You know you. But it seems like it's far away. Like that light is lost. Please, someone show me the way. I have to come in here, to Sweden. I remember I just did not know. My brain did not know how to use the Google Maps. And I quite often had to reach out to people, but that was an interesting experience. Trust me. I built up so many relationships after coming here just because I had to ask for directions. And people were surprised. It's high-tech world. You can't find the path. It's like, yeah, I believe in people, real people. And most of them don't understand proper English. I speak very fast, and then I had to slow down, and then there's this connection, and I always found my path. Found my way. We have to ask for direction, because I told you, who are you? You're here because you're stuck in some level of darkness, and you're finding the light. Light is not outside, light is inside. So yeah, right? So the paradigm kicks in and try to stop you from doing, being, having what you desire to have, do, be. So you got to have a very good understanding about your paradigms. When you try to do that workout that you have been waiting to do, when you try to make that sales call that you know you got to do, but you go ahead and do something else. In that moment, you have to catch yourself. This is where perhaps a coach is needed, right? Because sometimes you can't catch yourself. You need that feedback mechanism. This is what our parents, beloved parents, did when we were children too. They did their role, right? They did what they knew right. Thanks to them, we are grown up like this and navigating life. But whatever they could not deal with, they could not resolve about money, love, health, sex, relationship, politics, the world, we have to now deal with it. Their paradigms have become our paradigms. And in the environment, if you associate 5 people and all of them are talking directly and indirectly about money problems, I'm sorry, but you got to deal with money problems because they are talking about it. You're within that group. They're morning to evening worrying about money, so you're not gonna have a breakthrough. This is why sometimes you just have to say goodbye to some people, no matter how much you love them and care for them, or even feel attached to them. You just have to say goodbye. It comes a time. This is what that Gautama the Buddha, Siddhartha did apparently. Like he just walked out. You just have to do it. The moment that sexual energy, let's say I'm talking for men. I mean, I've trained more men than women. I initially thought I'm here to help women, but actually I help more women by helping men because the problem was that this was a man's world. It's different in Sweden though. This is a man world, like okay, the day one at the campus in my specialization track. So there was this professor and the course director, and he comes in and said, "Hello, guys." I said, "Girls," because everyone were all the students who were present in that moment were girls. He was like, he looked confused. He said, "Okay, guys." I said, "Girls." And he got it. It's like, that's a good start. He went on and then again, okay, got almost 10 times. The other professor and myself, we kept on sort of correcting. It was taken for granted that this was a man's world. I mean, come on. Why would you want to say it? It was taken for granted. It's okay to call a woman a man, and women ended up being like men. How many times, if you have been listening to my discourses, how many times I've been openly declaring I'm a man in a woman's body, and I've suffocated so much because that was what was needed in our country. Men were becoming women and women were becoming men. That is a fundamental issue of the old economic problems that we are facing. That's a long story, so yes, it's the next one. That's a breakthrough that I'm making, and I'm teaching people now through my breakthrough coaching. So you got to understand what's your paradigm, and you got to break free from it. You either need some external support, as I told you at the first point when I started this session. The first point I mentioned to you, that intimate partner, that friend, physically, if it is not there, a tree or a hypothetical person like God, or whatever, it's okay. Externalize it, get that feedback, commit, like make that other person responsible to give you that feedback. But be honest with your deepest shits and darknesses, and you got to express it like wobbly. This is why people come for coaching and counseling and confessions and you name it, right? Because it's otherwise bottled inside of you. It's gonna kick in. That's why you will get into that addiction, that sweet chocolate, like women get into binge eating and then lose control of how to maintain their weight and the looks and all of it. Then spend so much of money in the salon and the gym and because you can't break free from it. The old pattern kick in. That is where you have to interrupt the pattern. I mean, just yesterday, when like after doing 24 hours of work continuously, I suddenly get this urge to have a hot chocolate because we have a really good hot chocolate here, especially very close by. There's a shop, and those people are friends with me too. I can just, it's very cold, but I have all the clothing. I can just get into those clothes and just walk, and this urge is coming. Come on, I can hear this voice. That voice is so powerful. Hey, go and have it. And that was a moment of truth in my life. I sent this salutation to my father, and I'm not surprised. I think there's one woman in the group now. That's nice to have that balance, but it was all male energy, and I was not surprised the way I was talking, how that came. So I was about to, like, I deserve that. That's the feeling. I deserve to have that hot chocolate. But in the morning, I made the decision to go on a different diet, different way of eating. But hot chocolate, come on, that's no harm. It's so sweet, like you're treating yourself. Little child, when we were children, can you remember? When we were having a seriously existential crisis and you have not learned the human language, these adults, like, they're saying things, you don't understand anything, and you're imprinting all the shit. But you have an existential crisis here. You came from nothing to something. You try to figure out the world. The programming is happening, but you're resisting because you're complete. You're whole. You are God. You are light. But this darkness is now penetrating into you. You can't help but it's becoming part of you. Because you got to feed yourself. You feel hungry. You have to say yes to your mama, dada, but you feel like killing them, like knocking them on their face. But they did it. Huh? Right? And in a culture like Sri Lanka, especially, parents are the ultimate thing. Like, but they are really not the ultimate thing. They're really bad. But you could not say it, at least as a grown-up. And that anger built up because they hit you, hurt you verbally, physically. Otherwise, they abused you, either depriving you from food and other things that you're supposed to have. So you have that existential crisis. And then you try to express it the moment it's not given. But of course, they are going through the same problem as grown-up adults. This is where compassion comes in. This is where we have compassion, absolute compassion for every human being, irrespective of what they have done, including the ones in the jail and about to go into the jail, ones who have killed, ones who have stolen money. I mean, compassion comes there. I mean, this is why at that state of awareness, you have absolute compassion for everything, no discrimination. But you are still doing your shadow work because that's how you make the world a better place. You got to go with the world structure. You cannot help it. You cannot do everything from nothing. You got to be something. That's why I'm here. Because in 2019, September, I didn't die. Like, I wish I died, but I didn't. I had to come back and play the game differently. So the parents gave you this ice cream, chocolate. But the existential problem did not solve. So yesterday this kicked in. Guess what? Thank for the work I did. Thank for the amazing energy vortexes and the great people that I'm associating in. I'm part of different groups of evolving people, evolved people, enlightened people, billionaires, millionaires. I'm part of, thanks to technology, we can be part of larger groups of collective consciousness who have evolving on the path. So I saw my father through me. Even to say this, thank you for holding space. Thank you for showing up because I'm expressing it. You are the God now for me. It's a declaration. I saw my father. That was the same feeling perhaps my father had when he wanted to go to the bar and have that drink, or go and meet his friends and have that drink in the evening. That gratification. Because he could not have all the sex with the woman he was married, and to really have that intimacy and experience and share that love. So he had to do what he knew, right? Because that is what his father did, and had that drink in the evening to have that nice dopamine rush. There's a sense of accomplishment for the day or some gratification, right? But then addiction is addiction. Once you get into it, the next day the brain reminds you, you can have the whole dose of satisfying feeling, happy feeling coming the moment you have it. But you never can have it. That's why you have to keep having it. The moment I saw the pattern, the desire or the craving, it's not desire, it's a craving. It just dissolved. And I was at home. I ate the most healthy food again, sticking to my plan, and I had a wonderful sleep. You get what I'm saying? Okay, now I want today. Actually, I wanted to do something beautiful with you. As much as there was this flow of information, or I call it direct transmission. I call this transmission. It was not a teaching. It's a direct transmission because of the commitment you made to show up today on time or late. It doesn't really matter. You showed up in this energy field. You trusted us. You trusted yourself. That's what matters. You trusted your light. You trusted your light. You didn't come because you have a problem. Let's change that paradigm right now, right here. You showed up here because you are good enough. Let that sink in, my friend. Keep one of your hands, whatever the hand that you feel comfortable in your chest. Keep it there. Other hand, you can keep it open like this. And just tell yourself, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. Thank you for this experience, and say, thank you for the reminder. I'm good enough. I'm good enough. I am good enough. All right. I'm good enough. I'm complete. I was always complete, and I am. What I'm learning is about the paradigms that I've been living. What I'm learning how to deal with is just how to deal with the something in this world, which is a paradigm, and it's getting easier. It is getting easier day by day, because I am complete deep inside. I am complete. I am complete. I'm light. Because I'm light, I'm in the darkness, because I'm the light. And today, it's a reminder through this teacher, this coach, this platform, this energy basket, energy holder. I'm just experiencing. I'm just getting a reminder of who I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Now take the pen and paper. We are going to do the work around the topic of quick. It's quick because I've done the foundation. It's easy. You can just do this with me. I wanted to teach you two techniques. Those of you who have learned NLP with me, and those of you who have been friends and associates and students with us, kind of know this technique, but I told you since September, October. Yeah, August this year, we started this quantum NLP series. It's quantum NLP. So it is, yes, you have learned it. It's easier if you have learned it with us, but even if you have not learned it, it's going to be much easier. So take it easy. So take the pen and paper. Be ready to crack the problem that you took here, the problem that you're dealing with in your life, right? So take a piece of paper and write it down. Write down the problem in the middle. Like you can even circle it. So first write it down on a piece of paper, then circle it. once you have written down your problem, a specific problem, so whatever that came to your mind first, write it down. Let's say, for an example, like I want a certain amount of income for a month, but I'm not having it. I'm having only this. So verbalize the full problem. So you have to now, whatever stuck in here in your head, you have to like put it into a paper. I get into this marriage or relationship expecting this to give me these things, but I'm not having what I want. And the biggest problem is my spouse is stuck in this behavior, stuck in this paradigm. And I'm not getting that physical intimacy, physical love, or I'm not getting that respect. Be very honest, okay? Only you can see the piece of paper. Hello, don't pretend. Just write the shit out of you. Okay, just write the shit out of you. Put it into paper, like, and have this smile. Ideally, have this smile. When you write, hopefully you will smile. I mean, I believe with the work that now we have done, when you write it down, ideally you will smile. I mean, if you did smile when you write down the problem, I'm happy for you. Even if you're not smiling, it's okay. Ideally, you will have to have a laughter. But if it is very painful, you might not have a smile on your face, which is okay. All right. When you have done, please raise your hand like emoji. Put the emoji. Put the emoji of saying I'm done, like raise hand emoji. Now, what's the problem? Problem is something that is keep coming in your head like all the time, or how you know is very tactically. Thanks, Krish. Thanks. Tactically, as in, you know, like this is this is not rocket science. I needed 100,000 rupees. It's not there in my bank account to pay for that course. It's a problem, right? Oh, I have to leave this house where I'm living in 3 months time, and I don't know where to go. Like that's a real like practical problem. I mean, it can be something like that, or the problem can be like very subtle, like it's a feeling. Like I have been waiting to change this job. I know I'm poisoning myself every day by drinking this poison. Like I'm violating my truth every day, showing up at office. I know I don't belong here, but I'm here because it gives me this fixed income. But I'm poisoning. I've been violating my soul and crucifying my soul. I am betraying myself for 20 plus years, being in this relationship or being in this job because it just pays me some amount of money. So like I can settle down for my comfort zone. It's so difficult even for me to say to someone, I hate my job, but I hate my job. I hate the country that I live in. It's so difficult even for me to say, oh my God, I have been betraying myself all these years. You know, I don't belong into this family. I don't belong into this community, but I've been, you know, justifying it in the name of God. Whatever. I spoke some truths that I have been living. That's why it came so easily. So write it down. Write it down. You've been betraying yourself for something. So there's this tension in your heart, tension in your gut, tension like headache and difficulty to even think about it when you have this problem. That's how you know if it is a very subtle and like it's seriously an existential problem. You can't write it down like it's a really existential. Practical problems are there like, okay, I have the exam next week. I got to finish this content, and there's so much time left. I don't know how to do. That's very practical. Are we good? Ashan and we have two Ashans. Two Ashans, are you good? Shall we proceed to the exercise? All right, good. So once you have written down this problem in the middle of the paper, you then outside the circle, somewhere on top, right? Somewhere here, put the word intention. Put the word intention. This is the first technique. Put the word intention. And you know this is a problem in your head and it is experienced through your 5 senses, right? You are experiencing it through your 5 senses. But you also know there's a solution out there. Okay, you know you have to move from where you are to where you would want to be. You know it. So now take your awareness and attention to where you want to be. You have written it down, accept it. It's in the circle. It's the paradigm is acknowledged. This worldview is acknowledged. Outside, you say intention and write down answers to these questions. So listen to my first question. Write down the first thing naturally sort of come to you. So now trust your light, trust the higher self, trust the God. We started the conversation from there. Can you remember that you're complete, you're light? You are light, and that's why you are here. You're not broken, you are like complete. That's why you are here. Just dealing with the programmings that is surfacing because you're living in a physical body, which is borrowed from mothers, fathers, and that DNA has millions and millions of years of conditioning. It's collective. It's a problem of everyone. But you came from nothing to something, you're complete. So now let's focus attention. Let's deal with something. So this is something. There's something here, all right? Now, out of it, shift. So change your posture, take some couple of deep breaths, have a smile, lift your head up, like do this with me, and then change your awareness and attention to the intention. All right, what do I want? So the first question, what do I want to see? Write down. Answer, what do you want to see? Like $100,000 or rupees at the end of this month in my bank account. Write down what you want to see. See, physically see. I want to see myself beautifully dressed in the most lavish restaurant, having a date with my new partner. Write it down. I want to see myself graduating in this ceremony, in this university, like write it down. I want to see the name board of my new company. I want to see, like, write it down. Like, I want to see the weight on my body on the scale at 60. Write it down, what you want to see. Second one, write down what you want to feel. So when you are in that paradigm, in that worldview, when you feel like bounded by that reality, there's a feeling in your body like a stuckness in your chest and burning sensation in your gut, or like you feel shrink as a human, you feel inadequate and like ugly maybe, right? Really, like a bad person, like that's a feeling. It's not a feeling, but that's felt like a stuck feeling, closed up feeling, headaches, back pains, you name it, right? Sleepiness, overly sleepiness, and the sexual energy is totally out of balance. Like that's the problem. If it was what it felt, ask yourself, so what do I want? What do I want to feel in my body, in my life? Like expanded, inspired, easy, flow, loving, confident, aligned, in charge, in control, happy, content, enlightened, feelings, list of feelings. Put it all down. If you don't have enough space, like take another piece of paper and write it down. What do you want to feel? All the feelings, big emotions, small emotions, that feeling of like, I want to feel like a flower. I want to feel like the sun and the moon and a tree. I want to feel like JayaShri, whatever, like seriously, I mean it. You are free to choose, just free to choose as much as you are free to choose the problem. Hello? You were free to choose that problem. You chose it out of your free will. It was not imposed on you. You chose it. So who are the 5% of the people who choose differently, who go other side? This is what is they talk in Theravada Buddhism too, like what is this Sotapanna, the first stage of enlightenment, like they're going exact opposite direction. They have decided to go the opposite direction. Patisodaka, I think that's the right word. If it is wrong, I'm sorry. It's like you just go the opposite. You do the difficult thing. You can't do it because you know it's right. So write down. This is bounded now, at least on the piece of paper. It's okay. That's how you start. That's why there are so many books and papers in this world. Haven't you thought about it? Why there's a language and there are pens and papers? Like, why? We're writing things down. That's codifying. Codifying. Like all the work, if you go to office, people say they're working, either they are talking or but my work usually is like just like looking around, crying, smiling, walking. That's the real work. We'll get to that discussion on a different day. But still, we would write. So, okay, write down what you want to feel. Now, write down what you want to hear, what you want to hear. So when you're in this problem, there's a way that your brain is talking. Like yesterday, I had that craving to have a hot chocolate. I caught the pattern. And I have the other voice saying, hey, freezing cold outside, go for a walk, darling. Go for a walk. Yeah, and I did. Go and hug that tree in the front yard. Like you have other voice coming. Go to the mirror and say, I love you 10 times. Like that's the other voice. So what do you want to hear inside of you? Write it down. What you want to see, what you want to feel, what you want to hear. Like that voice saying, dance. Okay, go and dance. Play your favorite song and dance. Like that's what you want to hear. Or make that phone call. Just do it. Like my voice. Maybe you want to hear, like I'm next to you and say, like, just do it. Right? Go and take that phone call. Make the sales call and make the appointment. Like, do it. Like you want to hear that. All right? Now write down what you want to know about yourself, like what you want to know. So there's this problem. Your intention, like if it is about money, you will write down, okay, my intention like is to know with crystal clarity, with absolute certainty, put those feeling words, absolute certainty. What is my choice of career path or livelihood? What and how I can bring that additional revenue. That is my intention. I want to know with absolute certainty, this is what I can do, what I love to do, what I'm absolutely passionate doing to get where I want to go. I want to know that strategy, technique, right? I want to learn it. I want to sign up for the coach that is soul aligned with me for the next breakthrough. I want to know. Because like even I was thinking like which one I'm choosing to go to my next elevated way of living life. Like I deserve it. My country deserve it. My family deserve it. My lineage deserve it. All women deserve it. So on behalf of all women who have gone through a similar path of trauma and trouble and abuse and hurt and neglect and denial and rejection and deprivation and discrimination, I want to step into that platform on behalf of all women. I'm not doing actually for me, yes, it looks like. So I have to do the most selfish thing, just like I did throughout my life. So many people call me selfish, and I'm very happy if someone call me that. You gotta be selfish. Otherwise, you cannot become a millionaire, and certainly not enlightened. I had to say it today. Right? You gotta be. You gotta be. You cannot feel like a person who is sacrificing every day and betraying your truth every day and then like, oh, have it all. No, 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 no. There's an element of like level of congruence when it comes, you say like, bye. I mean, I gave up everything, right? In 2018, I gave up everything. I left literally just with some clothes, knowing I'm not going to come back. Everything was handed over to, I know, to whoever, but it was just there. I left everything. And I had so much more when I came back. That's the irony. I didn't expect. So yeah, so it feels like hard. It's not hard. Once you come to that place of absolute certainty, you know what you got to do. Everyone's going to support you, darlings. I'm going to tell you, everyone's going to help you. Trust me on this. Even the ones who are ready to kill you, even the ones what's the word? Even the one who's against you, like say your enemies or who hates you, they are helping. Trust me. They just become biggest helper. And in fact, that was the biggest help. All right, good. Are you done? Second exercise. The problem. Now you take another sheet of paper. You put a symbolic sum to your problem. Let's say P or something like that. PS, present state. You say PS, present state. It's not a problem anymore. It's just a present state. It's a state of reality. It's not absolutely true. It's just a state of reality, which you know you can't change. So fresh piece of paper, write down PS in the middle. And this is what you're going to do. You are going to think of, since ideally, I think your paper is also like mine, like 4 ends. There are 4 ends. So write down the first name of 4 people that you look up to, you admire, you feel motivated by, you like them for some reason, you look up to them, right? You'll want to be like them. It could be even Albert Einstein, it could be Gautama the Buddha, it could be any person of your religious background, but you really look up to this person. I mean, no doubt about it, okay? Like Ramana Maharishi, Jesus Christ, or anyone like, or me, like for many of you, I have been a teacher and a coach and a perhaps ultimate liberator in at least one point in your life. So anyone you look up to or your greatest friends, be careful, because if you are stuck in a paradigm, there's a very high chance your friend is also stuck in your paradigm. So don't choose friends. I vehemently discourage you using a friend's name there, but someone you genuinely look up to, or someone in the world, like a world leading personality, right? Living or dead, it doesn't really matter. Henry Ford, I don't know, like Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma, Sadhguru, anyone. So put on the 4 names. So in 10 minutes, we are done, right? We can wrap up the session for today. I have another program coming up after a while. You finish writing down 4 names? Yeah? Okay. So this one, of course, your cameras are switched off, so you're free to do the physical work. You can move around while listening to me. Leave the piece of paper on the table. Select 4 places in your room, wherever you're seated, on the table or somewhere, like you can be standing around the table in different 4 places. But physically, you have to now move out, okay? So think of the first person that you wrote here. Like, let's say if you chose me or some person, Sadhguru, or make sure you don't choose parents, family, friends, relatives. None of them. Please don't. They are part of your problem. So don't take them, okay? If you have someone like that, just remove it. No matter how much you look up to your mother or father, don't bring them to the table. Don't, okay? They are part of the problem, so don't do that. Your subconscious mind knows that. So take the first person. Now physically move out now. Get up from your chair, Physically go to a location in the room or on the table on the other side, wherever. And think that you are becoming that person. Think to yourself, listen to me while listening. Think that I'm so and so. Change the posture any way you like, you feel like comfortable, change the posture. Go and stand there, look at the problem and ask yourself, how would that so and so will solve it? Just ask that question. How would that person will solve it? Get some ideas, like at least one idea will come to your head. When you're done, move to the other person. You got to do it quick. You don't have to do it longer because that's the reason. So once you get at least one idea, move to the other person, like the second person on the piece of paper, whoever, wherever, like here or here, right? So go to another physically to another place. Think about it, think about problem. If I am that person, what would they do? What would they do? What would they do? Really? Get an idea. Move to the third person, another place in the chair or table or wherever you're seated. Just change the physically change, and even a feet would do. 1 feet would do. Go to the third person. Get an idea. What would they do to this problem? Get an idea. And now go to the fourth person. All right. Get that idea. What would they do? That's it. So I'm going to give you 1 more minute to go through the circle. Like you just again go to the first person. Like what would they do? Just get the idea. You don't have to have detailed stuff coming. Just what would they do? First thought, image. Go to the other. What would they do? What would they do? What would she do? Right? So go through the circle once more. Come to the table now. Come to where you are seated now. And write down the first 3 ideas, 3 or 4, if you can articulate it, but at least 1 idea that came to your head very clearly. Just write it down. It could be a word, a sentence, or a symbol. A word, a sentence, or a symbol. Write down. No logic. Don't bring any logic. That is your old paradigm trying to kick in. Okay? Aha. If you have some resistance of writing down those, whatever the ideas or symbolism or words came in, if you feel this resistance to write it out, will it work, like kind of thing you're trying to resist, that is your old paradigm kicking in. Just be aware. That's it. So take a minute and write it down. Wonderful. In this, so let me know how you feel now. How you feel now, not verbally, like a emoji or like a figure out of 10. Like there was some energy that you brought to this class, and now there's a level of clarity and some energy and easiness and confidence, enlightenment. So put down in the chat with few faces, like if you're very happy, very clear, like so many smiley faces, or 10 out of 10 where you stand. 10 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. Yes, I am. Okay. Ashan, yes. Thumbs up. All right. Nice. A lot of love. I like it. Oh my God. So I feel so grateful. See, we all need validation. Hello. I'm a teacher. Yes, so what? I like that validation that I did a good job. We want it. This is why you also every day, please go out there. You have no idea the energy I brought to the city of Uppsala after moving here. And like many shop people know me and they light up when they see them, because people here hardly smile, hardly even open up, look at to each other, talk. But I crack the eyes. I crack their eyes to a level I go and hug them. And I break the rule, break the norm. And they have been, it's as if they have been waiting for that energy. They have been starving of that, I think, at least many of them, not all. So yeah, they're so afraid to even, crack the boundaries of people so much, but it's amazing. So anyway, we want that validation. I want you to know it's a co-creative process. So go out there every day, make a decision that I'm gonna say to at least one person, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you're so smart. Like to few policemen here, they are genuine, really smart. I could not help but look at them, and their uniform is so good also. Very smart men. One day I could not help but turn back and said, I'm sorry, I'm looking at you quite a few times because you're really smart. He said, thank you. I mean, you just go and tell, thank you, what you're doing is amazing. Like I went in one of the shops to buy my winter jacket, and that woman is suffering from cancer and she's running a big business. For 33 years, the business is going, of course, cancer for some time. Once she had figured it out, she was like thinking, so what? I'm going to play the game. We have become friends, and her life is different. I can see the way she's promoting her stuff. And the brand has been there for 138 years, right? So just go and tell people how wonderful you are. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being, let's say your spouse is very open to you about something like, you're this, you're that. Just be very honest and say, like, thank you for reminding me about that shitty side of me. Really, thank you. I love you. If it is okay, just say I love you. But otherwise, thank you. You're wonderful. Make sure you give that gratification that you didn't get as a little child to at least one person in your life. For God's sake, just go and do it, because you know the pain. You know the pain. If you can't do anything about the pain of your loved one, at least say, I really feel for you. I understand it. Verbalize it, please. Verbalize it. Don't swallow it and keep it always inside of it. Just verbalize it. World need to hear this stuff. All right. We all want to know at the end of the day that we are good, that we did it right, that I'm good. I'm a good person. We want to hear it. Don't take it for granted if someone's saying it also. Like that person will be done one day, either dead or done doing it. Right? Okay. So say it, even to a cat. Like my cat was so programmed, like saying, you're beautiful, you're so smart. Say it to a tree, like say it to the world, you're very pretty. Like say it, okay? Fine, I believe I helped you, and I'm so grateful that you showed up. We are going to do another big topic in the coming month. And my dear friends, now that you know what the problem, you know the intention, you got to move from there to there, got to move. That's the implementation process. The old paradigm is going to kick, the old goals and the shadows, the shadow work. That's the work that I'm doing at present. Combining quantum NLP tools, compassion key, and a few more latest neuro programming techniques that I've developed and I've learned, and including Qigong, right? I'm a Qigong trainer now. So I have combined all of it, and there's a program going on called Breakthrough. It's like an ultimate breakthrough for someone who has been waiting and feeling stuck in a paradigm for the longest time, but they're genuinely now, like they have made the decision, but they need to know how. They need that assistance. I'm having coaches. I'm having assistance from when I need. I have a beautiful circle of associates in different parts of the world who are honoring me for the work I do. They're not giving me service, they're honoring. That's the word they use. So they feel this, they feel so wonderful to assist. So I have this network of contacts. So you got to have it. You cannot, we can't do it alone. I mean, we came nothing but being complete to this world. We created the parents. Parents created us, we create the parents. It's a co-creative process. We need help. We got to accept it. I mean, if you need money, you got to go to a bank, talk properly, dress properly, present a proposal, and ask for that help. And they will give you. They might not. You go to another person, right? You go to another person. You reach out to a partner. You want to have a wonderful relationship. They are not giving what you want, and then you conclude things. You have a new negotiation with a new partner, and you open up a relationship. You negotiate. You put things to the table. You're much more mature now, and it's a negotiation process. You can't. You got to talk to people and tell what you want. Even in sex, let's say, you got to tell what you want, and then there will be a person who's willing and capable of honoring it. You got to tell what you need to other people, then they can give you what you need. You can't have it all by yourself. There is nothing like that in this world. It's a cycle. All right. So I'm there. So there's this quantum breakthrough program going on. It's one-on-one coaching. It's one-on-one. It's only for people who have made the decision and they're ready to commit. No matter what, they're ready to commit. Of course, how you can sign up for that is, of course, there's a qualifying process. Just because you're paying, you're not taken into it. There's a qualifying process. You just have to contact GamakaShri or me, ideally GamakaShri, and then he's the main contact point center anyway. And you have to schedule an exploratory call. Even if someone is willing to pay, I'm not taking anyone on board. You go through that exploratory call. I'm working with the soul-aligned clients. And if the client is truly qualifying, and I feel like so honored to work with them, if I have that feeling, it's an honor to facilitate their breakthrough, and be a friend, be the guardian, be the guiding holder of light in their darkness. If I feel absolutely right about it, I feel right about it. Okay? Maybe they have chosen me. It's like an affair. It's like an affair, like love affair, So I kind of feel so right about it because I have suffered so much by choosing the wrong student. Of course, wrong student made me a better teacher, which I'm very grateful. A better teacher. So I'm so grateful. There's nothing wrong going ever in this world. You're never going to get it all done anyway. It's a continuous process. That's why we re-become and come into a new life. Okay? There's a continuous flow of life. There's no end. It looks like there's an end. There's no end. Even death. I have come to that point of death, but it was never end. That much I know. All right. So on the other side, it's fascinating. You really want to go to the other side, I'm telling you. But the force of life is so big, it will make you do what you're supposed to do. So trust the process of life. If you believe in God, trust the God 100%, not half. So I'm available for that breakthrough. You got to schedule an exploratory call for 15 minutes. And then from that point onwards, we can proceed. We can still decide whether it's a very good affair, a good relationship to have, and then go do the work. Yeah. So much love and blessing. Have a great day, rest of the day, great life. I love you all. And GamakaShri, you can conclude with some thoughts, please. You are part of this today. It was my show, can't help. The energy was so powerful. And thank you once again for allowing me to be the woman that I always wanted to be. I mean, really, I tell you too, like this, okay? Please keep that part of the recording when you edit this. Don't remove any of it. You don't have to. We speak the truth and we stand for truth. Whatever we are not dimming our light. So it's your time to please share some thoughts, because these guys are still sticking in. We like them, they like us. So please share something.
Thank you for putting the spotlight on me. I will make it really brief. It is very easy for us to stay where we are, doing what we are doing, and worrying about the thing, same thing for a very long time, like maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years, worrying about the same thing, unable to act, unable to make a change, unable to have a positive effect on where we want to go. And there are a lot of reasons for that. In my experience, first, not realizing that there's a choice. You have a choice. It doesn't look like we have a choice. It might look like you have made all these commitments to your family, to your country, financial commitments to your children. So after a while, you might get constrained into this tiny space where you can barely breathe, and you'll have to execute the same pattern forever. That is not true. You have a choice in life. We keep saying that sky's the limit, you can have anything. It doesn't really set well to a lot of people. People don't understand that fully. People are like, yeah, I have unlimited potential. True, I have unlimited potential. I don't know how to succeed. Dude, you have unlimited potential. It doesn't set well because it is not said in a language that resonate with a lot of people. Unlimited potential, like we are not very good in zero, we are not very good in infinity. Like if I say you have 7 out of 10 potential, people might understand it better. Unlimited is very hard to understand, but you do. The reason we get stuck is we don't have the right mental models. We don't know how to think about problems. We don't know how to find problems. We don't know where to get that solution, but there are people who know. So I'm going to stop from that point because JayaShri covered a solution path. There are a lot of solution paths. So this was fabulous, and I hope it opened up your eyes. And you,
everyone can switch on the camera if you're okay with it, so we can take a nice snapshot of your faces. I mean, if you're okay, we can take a snapshot. Ah, we have another beautiful woman here. She has been hiding. See? Oh, what a beautiful smile you have. Oh my God. Ah, my beloved student, friend, associate Ashan. So nice to see you. Thank you for showing up, man. Good. So, JayaShri,
JayaShri, JayaShri, JayaShri.
stay blessed. Okay.